Hello, Scott. We're happy to have you with us here today in the Lebanese Independent Film Festival. We'd like you to introduce yourself to the audience, please.
Awesome, yeah, thanks for having me. My name is Scott Glassman, and I'm a Canadian filmmaker.
Cool. Okay, so what movies are we expecting to see from you today, and what's your inspo for your movie?
Yeah, so I have two films. One's called Lior,
Okay.
and it's about an elderly man that asked for an assisted death from his home care doctor. And that was inspired by my own life and like the struggles my grandfather was going through. And the second one's called A Night with Lucas and Sylvia, and that one's about two people on a third date that go, it follows them on the third date and into the bedroom and the ways they communicate or miscommunicate with each other. And the inspiration for that one's all over the place. It's about a lot of stories from my friends' lives, my life, and kind of just the state of conversation about intimacy and gender roles and consent in the West and in North America.
What do you expect, such as an outcome from your movie being aired in the Middle East, being played in the Middle East?
Yeah, well, for the second one, it's interesting. It's something we were talking to the programmers about. I have no idea how they're going to react in the Middle East, because I feel like it's interesting. I feel like this is just a guess because we haven't screened it yet, but my guess is it'll actually be like more accessible than in North America. I feel like in the West and in North America, like there's so much discourse around that topic that it's actually like the triggers and the lines have been set. So anytime you're pressing on them, there's a reaction. But and that's not the goal. It's not to provoke anyone, but it's a very hard topic to explore. But I feel like because the discourse isn't as prevalent here, I feel like it'll be easier for audiences to watch. So I wonder though if they're gonna relate, and there's some like nudity in it. So I wonder, I don't know. I wonder about that stuff. How distracting that might be.
Probably people are gonna relate, but you won't. It won't be as visible, I guess, as in the West, most probably.
Yeah, I'm curious. I don't know.
Yeah. So how satisfied are you from the final result that you got from both movies?
How satisfied?
Yeah.
Well, I feel different about both of them. So the first one, Lior, and I also don't know how like a Lebanese or Middle Eastern crowd's gonna react to that, but I feel like that one's more universal, about like an older guy seeking like end of life. But I'd say like 60% happy with that one. It was my first short film, so there's a lot of heart and a lot of like personal attachment to it, but I've just learned so much about being a director since then. So yeah, and then the second one, I'd say I'm like 80% happy. I think I think it's very honest, and I think the feedback that it feels very real, and that you're in the film and you're in that moment and there's compassion, and those were all really tricky things to execute. So I'm super happy with that. But then I also feel like, again, playing with those lines, I think now that the film's done, I've reflected on ways that I could probably have done it better. But it's one of those things where, especially when you're early in a filmmaking career, it's like you're always gonna have.
You're gonna grow. You're gonna learn, and then.
Yeah. It's just a hard film to have as a learning experience.
We're excited to see either movies, and sorry. Okay, so we're excited to see either movies, and we're so happy to have you here with us in the Lebanese International Film Festival. We're looking forward to see more from you, and thank you for joining us this year.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.